Whether you're a Star Wars fan, a G.I. Joe fan, you can't deny that the smaller the figures, the better the playsets. And here we're looking at a Kenner Death Star playset. My Death Star was this one. And my parents got me this at Christmas time. I was 6 years old, I can remember. And I was super excited when I got this. We put it together. After a while, it started to tear because I played with it so much. So if we look closely, I believe this is a 1978 Canadian Sears wish book here. You can see the Palitoy Death Star playset here. And the interesting thing, it says under here with the description, it says Death Star modular play area. Comes with 2 stormtroopers with escape chute, working trash compactor, rotating and elevating laser gun, landing area for Star Wars vehicles, prison cell, and control room. Made of printed cardboard, measures about 20 inches wide by 12 inches high. Easy assembly, $21.99 Canadian. That is amazing. And if you want to look at the rest of this page, you can see all the other items that came out that year. I believe this looks right to be 1978, but you can't mistake the fact that these playsets were amazing that Kenner was making. And, well, I got one here. I've had this for a while. In the future, I'm actually going to make a Palitoy Death Star. But for now, I want to get this in my collection. And we got to do some things to this. It came to my attention one time that the elevator was on upside down, so we're going to have to figure that out. I don't have the monster that goes in here or any of the foam, so we're going to have to find a monster and some foam. It is missing the sticker, and it's also missing the rope that you used for when Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia swung over the bridge. Now, other than that, this playset is actually pretty good condition. The cardboard is really good, although it is missing some stickers here on the control panels. One of the main things that I think is the hardest to find intact is the laser gun at the front, and this one is still intact. It seems to be not broken anywhere, and oh my god, what is this right here? What is that? I've had this for about a year and I didn't even notice that that was in there. Is that the rope? What is that? Is that part of the gun, or is the rope stuck in there? Hold on, let me check this out. I can't believe it. That is the rope lodged inside that gun. Oh my god. That is like the hardest part to get. It's really expensive on the aftermarket. I'm trying to pry this open a bit. I don't want to break this. This is in great condition. And I don't want to break the rope either. But how the hell did that get in there? How am I going to get that out? That probably got lodged in there and the kid couldn't get it out or didn't even know it was in there. Holy sh! I gotta find a way to get this thing apart. I don't know if this comes apart. There's a seam here. Oh, it's screwed together. Perfect. I'm going to unscrew this and see if I can get that rope out. But I am super lucky that that was in there. I had no idea it was in there. The customer that brought it in to sell it to me didn't know it was in there. And I guess it could have been a rookie mistake as a reseller to sell this Death Star pie piece, because it's not really a full Death Star, but it's I could have sold this for the price that it would cost to buy one incomplete, and that piece I think brings probably $30-40, you would think, at least. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked on the aftermarket to see, because well, I was just going to make my own, and that's what this video was about making one. Geez, I'm afraid of taking this apart. It doesn't feel like it's going to come apart easily. Is it clipped somewhere? This is a different piece here. You guys that's worked on this before probably are yelling in the phone or in the computer or your TV. Just do this. But I do not want to take this apart for some reason. I just feel like if I do, it's going to break. It feels like it's glued, like right here. It feels like solid, like it's not going to come apart. I really don't want to take this apart. I am so lucky to get that, but I would be unlucky to break this. So why is that in there? It's stuck in there. Okay, so far I've gotten this piece out. I pulled on it. I can't get this apart. I did unscrew it, and it's I just don't want to break this, and I feel like it's gonna break if I do that. So I'm going to just try to pull this out. I get that out so far. I think that's the small circle part of the rope, and now we got to get the bigger circle part of the rope out. And I think if I pull on that without breaking it, we can get that out. Oh, that was the big part. There we go. Look at that. That is fantastic. Well, I was going to make this in the video. I had a really good idea on how to make this, and now I really don't have to. I might show you how to make one anyway. I just had an idea, and I thought I would show everybody, since I was going to try to get this Death Star working and fixed. There might be some broken pieces on it. I've never owned this as a kid, and I've never really owned it as an adult collector either. Like I said, this has been in my shop for a while. I haven't touched it really. I think I made a short video with it in the video, but it was just sitting on a shelf waiting to be sold. I'm glad I didn't sell it. But yes, we're going to have to get this thing taken apart and see if we can get it cleaned up, restore it. Now I don't have to make that rope. This is going to be a process, so let's get started with it. So I'm going to take this apart because I have to flip the elevator around and give this a good clean. But already I've noticed that the chair here for the laser does have a broken piece in here. So I am going to fix that. That way you can see here where the laser goes in there, and it needs a slot that fits right in here, and of course there's a broken piece on this side. So we're going to fix that, but it seems to make the sound, so that's all right. And I need some stickers here too. So let's start disassembling this. I'm going to start here. I don't want to break any of the clips because I know that these clips can be really easy to break and damage, but this came off Nice. No damage here. No damage here. And I think these friction fit, so there's a little crack there, looks like. Oh, so this was broken at one time. Looks to me like somebody did a repair job on that. Looks to be pretty solid. I would like to actually plastic weld that, but we're going to leave that as the way it is for now because the piece is still there. And I think I'll re-break that if it's possible and plastic weld it. But for now, it's functional. And I think this piece is fine. So let's get this zoomed out a bit. So I think this piece is fine. So that's nice. Now we've got this post here. And this is just friction fit. Doesn't seem like anything's wrong with this one. This one isn't broken on the top. You can see here that it's started to crack, but it's not broken yet. So might actually put some plastic weld in that just to reinforce it, but that's good. Then we're going to take this seat out, and I'm not really sure how to do that. So instead of taking the seat out right now, let's see if I can get this piece off. Seems like it just clips off here in the back, like that. Fits, that pulls off like that, and the cardboard comes out. And we also have to source or get some foam to replace the old foam. That stuff always is deteriorated. I do see some people selling it. There we go. There we go. Alright, so you can see that seat there. The clip there is a little broken, so I guess I'm going to fix that, but I don't know if it's actually really necessary to remove this. Could probably just clean it. That one is in good condition, nothing broken on that. That little post, or beam, I guess we could call it. That looks like a separate piece there that clips in. I think I'm just going to clean this the way it is. And it looks to me like this moves back and forth. Oh, it's a clip. It unclips something. Looks like there's something here too. What is that? Is that a gun? What is that? That looks like an accessory or something. All kinds of surprises on this today. Okay, I'm going to have to take this apart and find out what that is. That looks like a gun. That's pretty awesome. So when I bought this lot, I bought a Star Wars lot from someone. There was figures with it, so I'm assuming that there's going to be some parts. So whoever this kid was liked to stash stuff. Okay, we got a couple screws here. Let's take those screws apart. I think I see something inside there. It's either a broken piece. It might be part of this piece that broke and it fell inside. So let's get this apart and see if I can pull that apart and pull that piece out. Couple screws here. Hopefully it comes apart. Unlike the laser gun that didn't come apart after I unscrewed it. And these screws seem to be the exact same size as the ones I took out of the laser. So I don't have to worry about setting those aside anywhere special. They're all the same size, same length. Turn this over and see what we reveal in here. Oh, it is a gun. Wow. Is that Princess Leia's gun? Holy shit. So that's amazing. I think that's Princess Leia's gun. I'm going to take a look at my vintage Star Wars book just to confirm that. We might have lots and lots of surprises in here. We're going to keep looking and taking things apart. And there's the piece that broke for the chair. So that's awesome. I will reattach that. And give me a second. I'm going to find out who actually owns that gun. I think Princess Leia's was black, but it was similar to that. Let me just take a quick look. So this is Princess Leia's gun. I thought so, but I remember having this as a kid, and I remember it being black, more of a black color. And I realized this was the blue version, which actually came with Princess Leia Organa. And that's awesome because I've got a couple of her, a couple of variations of her, and I don't have her original gun, I don't believe. So this toy is starting to make me feel like perhaps all my Star Wars stuff that I got from this guy, I should take them all apart and make sure that there's not more accessories stuck inside them. And I still do have some of those playsets and vehicles in my collection that I haven't sold yet because some of them are duplicates. So I would have to go through them and see. So let's continue taking this stuff apart. That's good. Nothing broken there. That looks good. And this here is in great condition too. It still has a really nice spring there. Nothing's wrong with it. You can use that to open up. I believe you open that up, I think, to release the gun, maybe? I think so. I think if I recall, that is a play feature. This gun would fly apart like it was battle damaged or something. So I think if we fix that, that'll work. And that's probably why that laser always got destroyed and broken. So here's the cardboard here. It's got some damage to it, a little bit of a crease here, and it needs to be cleaned. The inside is pretty good, but you know, there's some damage here on the side. I love that artwork though, it's really neat. So that'll be worth cleaning up. Let's look at that other piece of cardboard here. You can see, yeah, a little bit of, damage here, some water damage or some kind of liquid, dirt. We could clean that up, I think, and make that look much better. Let's get this little platform off here. So the platform still has the extendable bridge, and this is a separate piece here. Does this move or anything like that? Looks like it clips out or something. Not sure why, but I think that's just a separate piece. So no tabs broken on that I can see. The foot pegs are still present. Looking for more weapons. All right, let's continue taking these posts off. And that looks like it's nice. There's a little crack here. I don't know if it's a crack or what it is, but looks like it. Probably a lot of times, kids are playing with these and they fall on them or put some weight on them and There's probably a lot of pressure on some of these beams. So that one's good. Now we have this little cover here. Looks like there's a couple breaks here. So I think there was probably looks like these extended out a little bit more, and probably from opening and closing they got broken. So we'll have to replace some of that plastic that has been broken off. So we'll do that. I didn't realize this, but I can see it now. If you look into the elevator, you're going to see a stormtrooper's in there. Now that wasn't in there when I bought it. When I did my short, I had put him in there, but it is from the collection. So I'm going to turn this around and figure out a way to take this apart. So I think this comes off like that. And let's inspect this elevator. We've got these pieces here. They seem to be intact. We've got these clips here. They seem to be intact. There are a lot of marks on this, but I think we can probably clean that up. This is upside down, and we've got our stormtrooper, and he's got a gun here. I don't think that's the right gun. I think that's a Han Solo gun, I believe, or something like that. But anyway, he's got a gun. That's cool. I don't think I realized that I had that in there. Yeah, I think this part here is in upside down, because this should be on the bottom so they can go all the way to the top, and it would only go as far as this third floor, and it should go all the way to the fourth floor. So we need to get this apart and get that elevator out. It's probably been like that forever. You can see the foot pegs on the ceiling of the elevator. So that's a good giveaway. Does this just pop out this way? Like that. There we go. Awesome. So didn't have to take that apart. I'm happy for that. Let's take a look at this elevator. So yeah, it was in there upside down, but it has a nice door. It's in pretty good condition. It stops, so the tab is in there. We've got the foot pegs. This piece here is good. It's not cracked or broken. So that's awesome. Now the last piece we have to kind of take apart is the bottom floor, or I guess the second floor. And there's these pieces here. I'm wondering if these are these friction fit like the other ones? Yep. Friction fit. So there's a crack right here we'll have to repair. The wall here seems to be good. No cracks. A little bit of yellowing, but a lot of this stuff was probably yellowed. Got a little stamp here. I'm not sure what that says. And then we'll pull this one out too. Make sure that there's no cracks. Yeah, that one came out really easy. A little bit of a crack here. Like I said, I'm going to be using plastic weld to fix all these cracks if plastic weld works on this. And let's check out the inside here. It says General Mills Fun Group, 1977, Division of Kenner Products, Cincinnati, Ohio. And there is all the numbers that you would expect to see on this piece. We'll take a look at this to see if it still works. And these doors tend to never really close, and this one is just like that. I don't know why it's not doing that, but of course I do have to clean it, so we'll see if it fixes it. But oh, this still works. So everything is working on this so far except for the doors not closing. So I'll have to figure that out. Oh, I never noticed that, but this piece here is completely broken. Wow, I never noticed that. See, there's a crack here too. So we might have to build that wall. That's going to be a nice challenge to try to do. A little styrene I think would help. So we've got a lot of stuff to do on this. I'm going to take some time and clean these up. I'm not going to take this apart either. I don't think that's necessary. I would hate to break those tabs that hold the elevator together, but we're going to clean this up. A little bit of soap and water. And when I come back, we'll fix all those cracks. Fix that piece here, which I still have the tab, which is awesome. So this cleaned up pretty nice. A couple things that I noticed while I was cleaning up is that there was a lot of dirt right in here, and I'm wondering if that's the reason why the door doesn't close. And this obviously was outside because I found this rock stuck down in the bottom. So I'm going to show you a shot right here now, what that looked like before I cleaned it. And I haven't tried this yet, but I'm wondering, once I put this on here, now that that's cleaned out, there was a bunch of grime and dirt in there. And once I get that in there, let's see what happens. And it still is not closing very well. I don't know why. I don't understand. It's almost like the door wasn't made properly or something like that. It's almost like this piece right here, if I can zoom into there. It's almost like this opening for the door is not big enough for that little round tab that's in there. And then these aren't high enough to clip in. And there's also a peg here that's broken. I'm going to have to fix that. I'm assuming that because this was outside, all that dirt and grime and sand got caught in here. I thought that was the reason for this not clipping in, but it just seems like maybe the door just never worked in the first place. So I found a little hack about taking pieces apart that seem like they're not going to come apart. You can see that there's some stress marks here and stuff. There's a stress mark here, and I really didn't want to take this apart. I told you that in the video. But what I found is when I got it wet, the water acted as a lubricant, and it helped me pull this apart with very little effort. And it really helped me get those posts out of those little holes there. Because inside I found the laser, and this was broken off. This fits right inside here, and this was a little loose, and I was wondering why, and that's, well, good. It must be the reason why. Now, I was about to fix this, and my Plastruct bonding was not working at all, and so I had nothing to see if this was going to work on this type of plastic. I actually tried acetone because I had this in my garage, and this did work for certain plastics. It worked for the styrene, held that really good. I tried it on Lego, that didn't work at all. I tried it on this, I think this is Constructs or something like that. Anyway, that bonded really well, but it wasn't working on this Kenner plastic at all. So acetone, I guess, is a good alternative. If you're using styrene, it will work. But I went and got some more of this stuff. I went to my It's not really local. I have to drive about a half hour, 40 minutes to my closest hobby shop that I have. And I picked up some supplies. Not only did I pick up this, but they have tons of styrene there. I also picked up some of this styrene tubing, 7/32 of an inch, 3.5 millimeters. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. I wasn't sure why I was buying it. I thought, you know what, I sometimes need some round pieces. And so I just kind of guessed and picked that up. And I'm actually going to be able to use that in this repair. I also picked up this 1.2 millimeter, which is 3/64 of an inch of rod. And this is great when you're doing really, really small repairs. And sometimes when the plastic is really thin and I want to repair it, I use a paper clip, and I rather use plastic on plastic than metal on plastic, even though metal is pretty strong. But I think this will work pretty good. I don't think this bonding is going to work on this plastic. Nope, that is not working whatsoever. Okay, well, it's not going to work on this blue plastic, but let's see if it works on this white plastic here. Now, I need to fix this door, and I did get that round styrene, so I've already started doing it here. These clips are supposed to be like a C shape that clips onto the floor, and they broke off. So what I've done is they broke off at kind of an angle. So what I've done is I've sanded that way, and then also sanded into the plastic so that there is a lip there. And then I cut this off, and I'm going to glue that in there, or I'm actually going to bondine it, see if that bondine will work. And hopefully that will glue in there, and then I'll cut that off at the edge. And then I get this piece here that I also cut to match that angle, and we'll bondine that in once we get it, and hopefully we'll get a clip that will clip onto the floor. So I'm happy that that bonding worked with this white plastic. So I'm going to use it on these beams here, and I'm just going to apply it to those cracks and push on that, and hopefully that plastic will melt together and it'll create a stronger bond on those. I'm also going to apply some here in these cracks, and I'll let that sit for a bit and we'll see what happens afterwards. Now we've got that clip that I made. That fits in there really nicely. That's awesome. It opens up pretty high. Now the original door, I believe, didn't open up all the way, but I have to still put a second clip on there. So I'm going to build the second clip, and exactly the same way as I built this one, and then we'll see how that fits. Now I didn't show the process of filing the groove out, so I have something to bond the styrene to. So taking a look at these two panels, these are pretty much the only thing in this whole toy that kind of yellowed, and it's kind of weird how you can see in the places where these large pieces of plastic on the back are connected. It didn't yellow in those spots where that plastic is connected on the other side. So I don't know why that would cause that, some kind of chemical reaction. Is the front of these and the back of this a different plastic where those ridges connect? I'm not sure. It's kind of interesting. If anybody knows in the comment why that would happen, let me know. But there's nothing else I can do about that. These are the two panels I have, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, for this I'm going to have to glue it in. The bonding doesn't work with this plastic. So here we go. We're just going to use some Gorilla Glue. That's not going to hold this very well, but we'll put a pin in it. So plastic weld worked on this white plastic. Right here there's that crack, and it looks really good now. It's actually really solid, and plastic weld doesn't leave any residue like glue or anything like that. So it sometimes will melt the plastic and make it bulge out a bit, but just filing it down is fine. But I think that's perfect. So it worked really good for that. So there's one more thing I want to do with this laser is I've got this glued on, and it fits in this slot pretty good. Fits in like that, but that's not going to really keep that from breaking again. It's just crazy glue. So what I want to do is I'm going to drill a hole through this into the plastic, into the laser gun itself. And I'm also going to take this really thin piece, I think it's like a 1/4 of a millimeter thickness. It's not very thick, 0.250 millimeters thick. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut a piece the same square as that. I'm going to fit it onto that and glue it to that. That's going to keep that really strong, and the pin in there will also keep that strong. There's just enough room in here, I believe. I'm not really going to be exact on this. I'm just going to cut a piece out. So I've got the appropriate drill bit here, and I'm just going to drill this out. Now this is going to be very precise because we want to drill through here and into that piece of plastic there. So I got to make sure that I put it in the, get it in the right spot here. There, that's perfect. I'm going to glue this in here, just like that, and then I'll cut that off, file that flat, and then we'll glue the flat piece of styrene on there too. Alright, this is all dry, and the pin is in there, and we've got some extra plastic. And not only does that fit in there tighter, there's no movement. That's going to make that really strong. I don't think that'll ever break again. This will probably break before this does. And that's awesome. So I fixed the laser. We've taken everything apart. We fixed this door. And we found some really cool items in our playset here. We found the rope, which is awesome. And I also found that Princess Leia gun. So that's really cool. Plus I also had one of these guys with a Han Solo gun in his hand. So there's a lot of cool surprises I found in this. Now I'm going to cut this video short because it's almost getting close to an hour. I've got all of this cleaned and I've got all these pieces fixed. So the next thing we're going to do in the second video is clean these cardboard pieces. Those have to be restored. And I'm going to fix this here. We'll make some foam and then we'll put it all back together. I don't have a monster yet, so hopefully by the time I do part 2 I will have a monster, and I'll get some stickers printed out to replace some of these stickers. So thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned to part 2 coming soon. See you later.